Super Blue Reiju finally gets the support that it needs in OP10. Or at least it gets some support, not really what it needs. This deck used to run rampant in OP07, always at the top tables it felt like. Nowadays, it's kind of left in the dust. This leader is based on a very similar deck list of Black Yellow Luffy, where it plays out small bodies to play out big bodies, but instead it does it in purple, going Dawn -1 to play out these big bodies from the trash, with almost like a black recursion. You use all these to rush down your opponent while you play Porsche into a baby, to then use that baby into a bigger body to either draw or rush, and so many great options in the deck, and it's built on consistency, similar to the Exodia Kinemon deck list, where it runs so many pieces that search out for one card that it almost feels bad. But at the end of the day, at least this has a high skill ceiling. You have to keep Dawn management in order, and it plays well into a lot of current matchups. So let's take this on the rank simmed and see how we do today. Oh Reiju, this deck has so much love from my heart going right towards this leader, and it's not because she's attractive. That just adds an extra little flair. Anyways, Dawn -1, draw a card. Or when you go Dawn -1, draw a card, I should say, to be politically correct in the card game. This is very important because we're going Dawn -1, -1, -1. So many Dawn minuses. We can even use Black Maria to go minus Dawn and draw a card. There's so much you can implement with this deck going Dawn -1 to continue to gain value. On a 4-card in hand turn with the Reiju already on the board, you draw 1 for leader, draw 2 for Reiju, so you draw 3 cards, allowing us to consistently always have counter power and a counter out aggressively. This is the perfect color combination for a leader, in my opinion, being the blue-purple leader, until we get to blue-purple Luffy, which is just a whole different beast. I'm super excited to play this deck, though, because I played this so much in the OP07 meta when red-purple Law was running rampant, and you had to find, where is it at? This Sanji right here. This card was so important to try to stay lower Dawn, but at the end of the day, even when you found both of your copies in the deck of this card, you were still getting cooked because they could just go so much Dawn lower than you, so you were losing all of your on plays with the Ichijis. You have to have less or equal Dawn. You didn't have that against Red Purple Law. They were always at 3 Dawn. You could not stay that low, which did suck. But anyways, this deck is going to be based on Dawn management, has a high skill ceiling in my opinion. Obviously it relies on the stage because the stage is the most impactful card, just allowing you to filter through the deck. It basically does the same effect as a full lead, just grabbing Germa Kingdom, which is going to be this 2K, any of our Ichijis, Judge, Sora, Reiju, Sanji, and that's going to be it for the... No, this is Straw Hat Crew. So that's not searchable, but we can even grab the Germa 66 and the Black Bug. Black Bug's going to be a testing option thing today, just because getting to bottom deck of 5 is really good, but I don't know if it works in an aggro matchup list. I think it'll be good into purple Luffy maybe, but I don't really know other than that. Maybe it helps us with the very aggro tempo matchups. But that's usually why I like to run the Niji here, because it does bounce a 4 cost. But this is a deck list that I've seen people are using in the OP10 format, so I wanted to test it out. They were also running 2 of this Germa 66. I like having a Sanji, just because at the end of the day, it's a 2K counter with us, usually having way less Dawn. Usually it's a 3-cost blocker, and sometimes that just wins you. Just having 5 blockers is kind of my magic number with deck building, is that I usually want to have 5 to at least find them a little more consistently. Usually you can go even a little more depending on your deck. If you're just in aggro strategy, obviously it's a lot different. With this, I think we can do both, and I think we do both very well. With that being said, let's get into the games, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned because we are doing our 4-player tournament on the sim on March 6th, where we'll be giving away a box of OP09 or PBR1 depending on, because if they take me on at the end and they win, they get the box of PBR1. And that thing is expansive right now. As always, thank you guys so much for 500 subs. We're now up to like 60. We're almost to 1,000, so let's hit that 1,000 number and let's keep it rolling. Let's play Reiju. We're taking on purple Luffy here. We are playing ranked today, and I think that's just a keep. I mean, when you start with the stage, you usually just keep. We do have our searchers going second here, and yeah, this is actually looking pretty solid. I think we played on the Sanji first to find an actual piece to discard here, searching the top 5, grabbing our Ichiji because we would have whiffed on that next one, so that's why the Sanji's really good on the first one, so that now it gives us something to discard here and kind of find our next piece, which is going to be another Ichiji, allowing us to soon do double Ichijis here, which is really, really good for us because we want to be very aggro into this matchup. I do think the Black Bug, this is where the Black Bug will come into play, and I don't know, next game I'll show you that I can be on the sim, or I guess I can show you here. There you go, you can see a little bounty thing up there, but just understand I don't have it set up where I can just look at it yet, so take that into account. 8, whoa, yeah, I'll take that. I'm not gonna I'm not going to be upset about that. That's interesting play right there. We're sitting at a solid 30 million. This is my first time actually doing the bounty here on this side of things. We're going to drop the Ichiji, see what we find. We find Germa 66, but we don't have a way into Porsche yet, so I don't know that Judge is going to be the option. We may take the Searcher for next turn to keep digging, looking for a Reiju to find a little more consistency. Do we even need to... They don't play hard removal. We could just play out the Reiju and hold it, getting out the Chopper. They are at... How many Dawn are they at? They're only at 3. They didn't even ramp last turn, so we're kind of in an okay spot as far as I know. I think we'll aggro them. At this point, if they're not going to be taking their life aggressively, which maybe that's the move for them in this matchup, I think we're okay to kind of go Dawn -1. We'll go to 5 next turn. We could go ahead and just double these down, though, which I'm also not against. This just doesn't get us any effect here. I think it's worth it, because we can get it back next turn. We'll go Dawn -1, play out a Ichiji. We'll get to draw a card, and then choose no targets. We do finally find our Reiju, so that was kind of perfect top deck situation right there. But that's what happens whenever you filter through, 9 cards in our deck so far. We did 5 with Sanji, 11 cards with our deck and not finding a Reiju. I think that puts us in a good spot to find it. I think they should counter out here. You have no reason not to. We could be running Pudding. We are a blue deck. Guys, we are a blue deck. People have to take that into account. We could easily Pudding them right here. Obviously, we don't, but we could. We could, and that's the problem. We're going to counter out aggressively here because we can use this Reiju as counter and just get it back next turn and then get the draw 2 off of our turn. So it just depends on what we top deck. If we can top deck a Porsche, I feel like that would be very, very good for us. They did have the Bon Clay, which is maybe smart there because now they can ramp into 7. They have 3 active Dawn. 3 active Dawn isn't much. We may even go double 1Ks depending on how they swing just to get less cards in hand to use the Reiju effect. It kind of depends though, because this will get a card out of hand. We'll then replace it with a card. We can then Chopper and then Chopper into Reiju. That leaves us 2 more Dawn. No, 2, 2, 1. That would be all of our Dawn for the turn, but it would allow us to draw for the turn. So it kind of depends on how they swing. If they're swinging 8 here, we let it go. If they swing 8 in the face, we just take. At that point, we're kind of stuck in a position where we have to take that. It's as sad as that is. So we could 2, 3, that's all 5. We can ramp up, back up to match their Dawn just for our next turn. Because a double Ichiji turn sounds pretty good to me, but also drawing sounds pretty good. So I don't know, we already have some good pressure on the board. They do have the Bon Clay Bentham, so we'll just drop the Ichiji first, see what we need to find. We find a Sora to grab a 2K. I don't think we need another Reiju right now. And this will be draw 2, but only if we can empty this out a little bit. We already have 2 Ichijis in trash, so we could just go for a second Ichiji here. We could search the top and then still draw a card. So we could go 5 in a face and then 7 in a face, search the top, play out another Ichiji, but then that puts us down to 6. I really like the Black Maria on this turn. I think we'll go 5. I think we're gonna stick with the original plan of getting Reiju out. We don't get the draw 2, but I think it makes more sense for the Dawn minus because they don't have a way to remove her. So we can feel pretty safe just leaving her on the board for next turn and going into Black Maria here, or we can go Black Maria into Chopper just to have the blocker because they are going to have a 7K swing. This will just help us ramp back up. We only need to gain 2, right? Technically, because we're not going to gain any more anyways, so might as well. We'll play this. Use card action, we'll lose it anyways. We'll return 1 and draw because we did return 1 right there, right? So, sorry Petunia, not right now. They shouldn't have a way to use Kamazo effect if they do play a Kamazo unless they play out a Queen and a Kamazo on the same turn. Obviously having to play Kamazo first to do the Dawn -2 to then get rid of our Chopper. But they don't have a way to get rid of Black Maria, which is really good for us. So now, next turn, we can just basically pop off like crazy. We do have a ton of cards in hand. We do have a good amount of counter. We have easily pitchable counter. We easily have 5K here. So we should be pretty safe to 2-1 and then probably 2 out of this and then block out of the 9K swing with the Rush Luffy if that's the way they're going. They do only have 4 cards in hand at this point, so I would say we're in the advantage in this situation. They are going 7 into 7 here, which I don't think is smart. We'll just simply give them a 1K just because that's all we need to do. We need to get down in hand side to keep drawing anyway, so there's no reason to give up a blocker when we don't have to. 5 in a face, we will give them a 2K. I want to keep the Sora because at this point we already have Black Maria on the board, so we should be pretty safe there. We have to think about our draws on the next turn because we'll draw 1 for leader, we Reiju, draw 2, and then we can 1 Ichiji, swing 7, 7, 7. and then clear this out with Black Maria because we don't need Black Maria anymore. We block out of a 10k swing if they have the rush. They don't have the rush, which is really kind of, we can easily clear this out, and then they shouldn't block out. We don't even have to give up Black Maria, we give up Sanji. They discard 1, draw 2. They're still looking for Luffy Taro. Luffy Taro would obviously be really good in this situation, but I'm just trying to think about mathematically how our hand size work. They should play down a 5 cost Eustace Captain Kidd, or they should have left the 5 for the Sangoro. They do go for Kamazo here, trying to get rid of this chopper pretty easily next turn, so that's telling me they're going to play a big body on the next one. So we'll look to get value out of this if we can, but it's not guaranteed in this situation, so we just need to keep that in mind. They do have 1 up for a Gum Gum Giant. If they Gum Gum Giant, they go to 7 into 9, they'd have to take a life, so I think we're pretty safe to go aggro at this point. We are going to go ahead and Germa 66, 2, 2, so we're going to swing 7 into face. We could also just drop the Germa 66 and go 8. No. Search the top 5 here and grab another Ichiji just to have it in case. Now we get to drop the Ichiji for free and grab a 2k counter, which will grab the Sora again to get our Ichijis back in case we lose them on this next turn. So to do this properly, we'll need to go 7 first, right? He did counter out of this one. We need to kill this. At the end of the day, we just need to kill this. So if he's going to keep countering or give us block out, like that's with me. This guy's going to die. You wasted a blocker on a 2k. I didn't even say anything about that because how I don't think that was intelligent in my opinion, but everyone's going to have their own game plan. We're going to go 7 into face here because we have 7 cards, right? So we need to draw 2 with Reiju first. So we need to go 7 again. And then we need to empty out our hand first. So he's going to Gum Gum Giant 2, so they will be at 9. They discard the Chopper, which is really interesting. They're playing the Chopper here. So we'll take that because now we need to flush out 2 cards from our hand, right? So to get down to this threshold for the Reiju, we need to go here first, then Dawn -1 for Reiju, and then Reiju effect, and then draw 1. Is that how that just worked? I don't think that's how that worked. We did not. We're above them in Dawn because they went Dawn -2. Okay. Something to keep in mind for the future, but that does allow us to now have rush because it's equal or less. So we will return 1 here, cheat out an Ichiji, which I guess this works out in the best way because we do get the rush at the end of the day, which is going to be really important for this situation. I think just having the aggro, we didn't get the draw 2, but we still have I have 8, 9, 10k counter. I have 2 Soras to add back my Ichijis. I could technically still double Ichiji on the next one really easily because we already have both of our Ichijis in trash, so we've kind of set up properly. I think at this point, it's going to be really hard to get a comeback. We have a blocker on the board, which we will be getting value out of this turn if they do this improperly. I mean, sit there and just swing for 7 or 5 or anything at all. We just take the guaranteed block because if not, they just drop a 9 cost body. And so I think that does put us in a good spot. I'm trying to think of what to do. I think in this situation, you know, I'm in a tough spot. I think, like I said, the Reiju is kind of my decks that I pet deck for me and I do enjoy it. I think maybe gaining 1 less with the Black Maria just to get the draw 2. But again, at the end of the day, the draw 2 at this position in the game isn't too detrimental for us. Not getting it is just something we need to keep into account. And so they do cash in on the Dawn -1 here, which was really smart for the Kamazo. I was kind of stressed they wouldn't do that, to be honest. So they don't have any Dawn active though, because we did flush out the Gum Gum Giant last turn. So we should be feeling very, very safe here to just be able to go aggro. We should counter out of anything they throw at us because we still have, at the end of the day, we still have a draw 2. They should, clear out Black Maria. I don't know. They may just go 5 in the face, 5 in the face, see if we counter. If we counter, then they go, here, which I think might be the play, just to see if they can clear out the aggression or just see if they can get game. But at the end of the day, no way for them to come back here because, they have 1 life. They have no active Dawn for Gum Gum Giants. We did see them have to use the Gum Gum Giant earlier. I think killing Black Maria was not important. I think that was just a waste of a swing. We will counter out of this. There's no reason to take because if we take, they just swing 10 into face again. So we will give them a Foxy here. And then if they swing here into our Ichiji, we will be countering out with a Black Maria and 1 of our Soros so that we still have 1 in case we need it. And then we're just going to hit them with a bunch of 7s, I think, on this next turn. They do ramp 1 for Gum Gum Giant, which I don't think was smart. We'll just go 7, and we're going to go 7. We'll go 5, 5. We should have actually just gone 5 to start, just get 1 card each, and then just go 7, and then go 17. Because at the end of the day, there's no way you're getting out of that 17, or 16 instead. If they do, because we still do have our effects here, so I just don't think mathematically they have a way to do so. We even get the Black Bug, which could get rid of this Kamazo if we needed to, and we could play the long haul, but I don't think there's any purpose in it. We just go 5 again. If the Gum Gum Giant this, they're cooked. Dude, I've got a hair on my nose. It will not go away. My goodness. All right, they give us a 2K, and now even with a perfect Gum Gum Giant of 1, they just lose, because that would be 4, you discard 1, and then you have 6, so that'd be 10. So it'd be guaranteed lethal here, that there's no possible way they don't die. Even with all 2Ks here, they still lose the game, right? 2, 1, 1, 2, GG's to our opponent. We are on to the next one. That was a really good matchup against Purple Luffy. Shows you kind of what meta's like and how you have to take a little more aggression. And sometimes you have to slow roll it with the Black Marias just to have more Dawn advantage at the end of the day, because that is important. Blue Black Usopp's going to be interesting here. As you can see, again, this is ranked. So we are doing ranked again. We're not a high bounty. I've still been, like I said, I don't play this too often. I think we mulligan that hand. It doesn't have much going for us. 1 Dawn, no plays does suck. They put us on the first curve, which is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's correct, but we'll let it ride. We'll see what they want to do. May have double searchers here, which would go crazy. We haven't found our pieces just yet, which does kind of suck, but that's part of the game as a Reiju player, that you have to accept that sometimes you're just not going to find your pieces, and you need to find how to play against that and around that when you don't find your pieces. They do get Quarter Coliseum. They went out already, which is going to be very good for them. We will swing 5 in the face here, probably just getting a card out of hand, because they do get the on KO abilities of drawing a card with their Usopp, so I would probably have countered, but it also depends on what your hand is. You place this card in the trash, look at the top 5. Look at the top 5, we get to kind of actually set up here. So we can place the Reiju on the top, we can Porsche into the Reiju to draw 2, which will be Porsche into Porsche, right? We'll draw these 2, next turn we'll grab Sanji from our draw off the turn, and off of the Sanji effect, we'll be able to search up the top 5, which I think is the best there for the situation. So we'll see how that goes. It was not the greatest card to put on the board, but it did empty out our hand a little bit to then get the effects for the next turn. I think we have to counter out of this just because it's a free counter for us, because we are drawing into the Reiju here. So we know that's going to be 2 of our Dawn, so we can swing 7 into face pretty safely. And then we can Porsche into Reiju just like we said, and then play the Reiju from trash, drawing the 2. We could have almost double Porsche. That would have been crazy. Just go ahead and get the Ichiji out, but then we just lose it if they have any, I forgot we have the search here, so I guess we don't get to choose what we draw. I forgot the Porsche search is the top, and that's not a non-mandatory effect here. We'll play out Reiju. We'll go Dawn -1, cheat out a Reiju, draw 2, and we finally do get our Ichiji, so we're almost there. We just need the big body here, and we'll pass a turn. So at least we developed 2 5K bodies. That was just me not thinking at that point. I forgot playing the Porsche would do that, so I probably should have drawn the 2 first, and then used the Porsche effect off the 2 characters we drew, and then played the Ichiji, forcing them to go ahead and get rid of the Ichiji. But that's for the learning, the learning curve. I haven't played Reiju in a hot minute. This used to be like my main deck, but it's been a while. Boys, it's been a while. That was OPO 7.5 back in the day, basically. Like that was old. That was a long time ago. 7 in the face, I feel like they're going to leave the blocker active, it looks like. They're going to play out a body. They may play out a 4 cost, get rid of the Porsche here. If we counter aggressively, we could get the draw from the next one, but we don't have any 1Ks to mathematically do it. So I guess we're going to double Porsche on the next turn if we can. like I don't know. The situation's looking a little but also we'll have the bottom deck effect if we need it. We are at 3 Dawn, going into 6, so going into 5, so we will have even Dawn with them. We can't double Porsche here, so we could just stay a little more active. They do Ice Age us, and then Hound Blaze, which is kind of wild in this deck. Getting this +3, that was unheard of. I've not seen that in the deck list, so interesting stuff there for our opponent. Obviously, we're not going to switch hit Leo. I think we search up first and kind of to do based off of this. What we find, we do find this for the Ichiji. We do find the Ichiji, I should say. But we could get the Germa stage, which is more consistency for the deck list, and I kind of like Germa stage here. We've already seen 2 of our Ichijis, though. We know one's at the bottom, like 5 now. This will put one in the bottom 10. So if we don't find one, we're kind of cooked, but we haven't seen a Germa stage yet. So I think we'll go with the Ichiji here. I think it's the safe bet. I think we can go 5 in a face, and then 6 in a face, and then Porsche again, putting us down to Porsche would be tough for us. Let's just start with 5 in the face because we know we're doing that, and then decide. I'm also not against Black Bug and then putting on aggression on the next turn where they can't really do too much for us. We go ahead and get rid of the Frankie blocker, which they can get back out of trash, I believe. No, they can't. Let's go 5 in a face and then decide if we're gonna black bug. If they block to draw a card and get a blocker back, that would probably be smart, but they don't even have a blocker in trash yet, so I guess they're not even gonna use the blocker at this point because they don't have anything to get back. So the math is if we go down to, if we push, we go back down to 3 and go into 5 again on the next turn, or we can ramp up a little more if we just black bug this character off the board. Black bugging a blocker like this, horrible. And I think it's kind of the move at this point. Let's try it. Let's see what that would do. We bottom deck that, and they get to draw a card off the effect. I guess that's good for them. I didn't really think that, you know, when any characters are moved or from the field from our effects. So that does make sense there, but I think we're in a good spot because they do get the Cavendish here. They will get a draw 2 trash one. They should go 6 and then see what we kind of, and I don't think we'll protect this because if not, they just get pseudo rush with another character into this body, or they play out Zoro, tap this and get rid of it depending on what they draw. So I don't think it's worth giving up our 2k counters at this point. I think I'd rather just give up a 1k counter for the 5k swing. If they want to swing all out, that makes, you know, them maybe, but not to me. So they do play out Rebecca, which is really interesting, grabbing the Frankie back from trash, and then they can play out a 3 cost if they wanted, but they don't. Now is where things look like they get fun. Let's just Dawn -1. We search the top of the deck here, grabbing nothing, but we get to cheat out an Ichiji. We'll go Dawn -1 to cheat out a Ichiji from hand, giving this -2k, making it a 4k character. And then we could go really down in Dawn. So we could just go 6 here, see what they do. And then if they get out of it or if they block out, we go 7. If they want to counter out, that's good for us because we can double rush here. And then kind of monoclock. If not, we can just go into Reiju, which I think this shows us we should just go into Reiju and get more cards in hand, save the Porsche for next turn, and just try to find more resources to use. That's just based on the situation to get the extra draw too, because we are going down to 4 Dawn into 6 now. So we have to keep that in mind. We will get draw 2, which is really good. We do get the Searcher as well. So we could have gone just 7 in case we got the Searcher first, or maybe done the Searcher first, but you never know what triggers they have. They did counter out of that with double 2Ks, putting their hand size lower for their leader effect, because now this has the blocker effect of draw 1 card on block, which is crazy thanks to the leader ability. This is a little grindy of a match here, but I think we do have the aggression. They haven't found their bounce characters yet, but I don't know what you would bounce in this situation. They have another Houndblaze, which is super annoying. That's going to be really good. An interesting list here. I like the tech options, but looks like they'd rather go 8 with their leader rather than swinging with the Leo, which is cool. It makes sense. It makes sense. We do have a solid amount of counter, nothing to discard from hand, which does suck. Let's see, that's why you could have just added it to your leader. I think we give them the Sanji would be nice, but the blocker I think is just better given the situation. No, I don't think we need the blocker actually. We can search a blocker. We've only seen 1 from the deck, so we should have one in the top of the deck right here. So we get another one from our life actually, which is kind of even better. They tap the stage to get rid of Reiju, which is the wrong choice in my opinion. And that's a pretty good card. So we can go 1, 3 into 4 and then still have 2. So we can just swing 5 into face, 5 into face. Let's swing the character first. They only have 2 cards in hand, so we're pretty safe here. They do get to draw a card, obviously, off that effect, so it gave them possible counter in this situation. They get the Brook. Whoa, they have a weird deck list, man. We're going to go 3 -1, play this. We're going to have, okay, let's make this out. Let's search first just to see what we want to play. See if there's a better option. We do have the Reiju here. It would put us down a lot of Dawn, but it would put us up in a lot of tempo. And I think at this point of the game, we would get to draw. So play this for 2, ramp up 1. We'll play this for 3, Dawn -1. We'll grab another Chopper from hand, and we'll play Ichiji, play out another Ichiji. Ooh. All right, and we hit the 7 into life, and now we have a full board again. So we should be pretty good here. It's a little stressful, but we're having a solid game. It's one of those that got my heart pumping. 7 here. We will counter, because we do still have the block. So I don't think they want to give us cards back in hand either. They haven't found any Rebecca's, but they're not playing the Rebecca list, it looks like. They even might play Gecko Moria. They do have it help Meppo out on the board, so they're really playing into the black archetype here. So this is kind of interesting. It looks like they might go into Rebecca here, getting a Brook out, getting rid of the Porsche from the field. Interesting. We will be going into 7 Dawn on the next turn. We could technically even Sora. Do we just take the free block? I think so. Because I mean, go 3 on Leo to go 5. We just give him a card out of hand, which will be, I think we go Sora. Sora could ditch this to get another Ichiji, because I mean, 1 blocker on the board, we should be pretty safe. I think if we get out of this though, either way, I think we just win. I think if we're going to continue the game, I think Reiju is going to be better. We get the Sora off the top anyway, so I think we go 7 into face and see what they decide to do. If they counter, obviously that's a different thing. Now, do we just have math? I don't think so. So I think we go 7 again and then see what they decide to do again. And then if they take, we just go 10 because we did see them block out earlier. I think 10 should be safe to say, hey, game's over. GG's to our opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4. They only had 9 in hand anyway, so the 7 went through because they only had the 2 1s, and then 10 goes through with the 2K. GG's to our opponent, man. That was a close one. That was a grindy matchup. Let's go into another ranked game. Oh man, we're taking on Buggy here, ranked. As you can see, we're playing ranked again. This guy's way better than me ranked-wise. I think we'll take first from them just because it is the curve they like. They don't play too much removal early, so the Black Mario could be good here, but we don't have any of our real pieces. You always mulligan for stage just in case, and we don't find it. We find actually our one of rather than our stage, so it is what it is. We'll see what we top deck here. Hopefully it's something good. We're starting off to a very slow start, and we're just hoping at this point. We're hoping and coping here, guys. This guy's 123 million bounty. He's pretty grindy here. Getting 2 Galdinos is wild to go second and then get that kind of leverage on us. So we'll definitely take some swings in a life if you wouldn't mind, please, my friend. And I'll feel pretty good about it. I don't think we're worried too much about removal here. We don't have a draw 2 off of this. We could portion a Black Maria just to go ahead and get a 5 cost body or a 5k body on the board. So we could go 5 in a face here. I think we keep with our usual tempo aggro matchup. We have the Black Bug for this matchup as well. We'll go Dawn -1, search the top of the deck. 2 Germa stages off the top is wild. We will play out. I think next turn we can just go into Chopper more, or I mean into, I think we'll just go to Chopper now. We'll use Chopper effect to gain a Dawn and then draw, which we will get the Ichiji at least, so that puts us in a little bit of a better spot. We do have a 1k counter. We have double 2ks. I think, you know, I will take this 6 because it takes them a while to kind of build. We do have the Black Bug to make sure they can't, so we'll take here. We get another Chopper. Chopper is not going to be doing too much for me in this situation right now. We could empty out our hand a little bit. We don't have anything to really bottom deck. We could go 5, 5. We're trying to get cards out of hand. And 2, 3. We could also 4, 1, but 1's not really going to do much here. But we have 8 cards in hand, so this doesn't do anything. We're even above them in Dawn at this point, which is not good for what we're trying to do. So I think we will go 6 in a face here, and probably go 7 into face and develop another blocker, which we can use late game. Again, they don't have too much removal for us, so we should be pretty safe. They do counter out of that one. They probably take this one. I don't think it's worth countering out at this point, in my opinion at least, because you're not worried about playing around the pudding against us usually, and maybe it's something to tech in as a one of, you know, get the another one of for just a pudding, because we have seen a few times where, I mean, like this against Buggy, the pudding would kill. The pudding would kill them on our 4-Dawn turn there. So it would be for those niche situations like that, but usually it doesn't do too much for us if I'm being 100% honest. We just haven't found our pieces just yet. The Germa stage would have killed for us, but you can't really predict that off the Porsche, you know, but you can, you know, very do, is they take that into account of like, hey, I've seen this card yet, I'm this many cards deep in my deck, so it has to be in these next few draws, so I can't assume that it wouldn't be there. Now hitting 2 of them is the tough part, but it's one of those situations that, again, you can't fully play around. You have to kind of accept this is going to be how it is. They're going to tap 5 here, probably playing out a... They could go for the new Buggy, which would be smart. They go for Mihawk instead, ditching one of theirs, and then discard 1 card, which was the Mihawk, so they got to draw 2, trash 1, and then they have a 7k blocker here, which is going to be very bad for what we're trying to do. We don't have the Black Bug active because it's 5 costs. We could honestly just play out this Ichiji, which would kind of suck what we're trying to do. So we could also 3, 2, just to empty out our hand, or no. If we go 2, we play this from hand, we get to draw 2 still. So we'll do that just to see if we can find our Ichiji. We'll go Dawn -1, play this out from hand to draw 2. We find some pieces, we get the Ichiji from hand, and now we could go 4 over top of the Ichiji, and then swing -2k here. -1 to play out a Ichiji, -2k, and now we can go 5s very safely because we did get rid of the blocker as a lower power character. So they should be counter, counter, take is what I would assume in this kind of situation. But we do have 2 blockers on the board we will definitely be taking advantage of next turn. 100% need to take advantage of these because if not, we just lose all our cards in hand. So we'll still be at 7 on the next turn, kind of keeping a Dawn count. And they did exactly as we said. Counter, counter, take, which is really smart, giving us a 1k, 2k, and then taking the 7k swing. not getting rid of the blocker, because of course that wouldn't make sense in the first place, but if you get a free block with a 5k, that does make sense, you know? It was nice to get that Ichiji off the top. We still have another Sanji if we need to keep searching through the deck, especially when we're not finding our big pieces or our little pieces or much of any pieces at all at the moment. So let's see what we top deck though. That's going to be the biggest thing. Like I said, we will be cashing in on these. You can't really swing this safely, because if not, I could just go for your board, or I could just go for your hand. You do have a big hand. I don't know, I could go aggro into life, because I think aggro into life gets a little more hand than going for board right now. I think you can safely give up some board depending on what you play. This, we just block safely. I think that's the best case scenario. I mean, if you're gonna go double block it, just because, I mean, again, safe to get rid of the board because we need to be able to develop more bodies in the future. We do get to bottom deck a 5-cost character. They could be playing a second Mihawk here. It looks like a possible second Mihawk with 6 Dawn active. It does look like that. They instead choose to play Crocodile. Crocodile cheating out Dazbones. Dazbones is about to be at the bottom of the deck, buddy. Let me tell you, Dazbones is about to be at the bottom of the deck. And I feel really good about it. They get emoji 2k counter from deck. We do find another Reiju, but we don't have another one in trash or anywhere in our deck, actually. So if we do 1, 4, 2, we'll search first just to see if there's better options out there. There is a Germa stage for us. A Germa stage is going to be very good, but getting another Ichiji would be solid as well. I think we'll go for the Germa stage though. They're at 8 Dawn, we're at 7 Dawn, so that's pretty good. We don't have the ability to play this because, well, we do, because we haven't found our... We don't have another Reiju anyway, so it's safe to do this. And then trash a Judge would be great tempo if they go for clearing our board for later on in the game. So I think we will hold on to this. I think it makes sense. The Sora is going to be good. I don't know if we'll need 2 black bugs at this situation. I think we'll drop the black bug. We'll grab another Reiju from hand, and then we're going to be playing this for 4. So we're going to go 5 into face, 5 into face, and then we're going to go 6 into face, and then we're going to go 7 into face, putting us in a very safe spot. So we should be good to do this. We're going to get rid of the Dazbones pretty safely here. We have a good amount of counter as well, and then we'll even have our Judge live next turn if we do seem to top deck any of our big bodies. So now we know we're looking for big bodies. We know what our situation is. They give us a 1k counter Mihawk, the promo, which is okay. I don't actually like this promo that much. It's not as strong as like a 5 Kuzan, you know, and with its effect, just playing out a 5 cost from hand. I mean, if you're doing something with trash or something, it makes a little bit more sense. But I think in this situation, I don't think it's that good. We're going to go 6 after that. We are going to be, again, bottom to this character, leaving 2 big bodies on board. We're going to go 7, which they will be taking. Then, again, bottom decking that bad boy. So use this, bottom deck that, and pass. So I do see where the black bug does come into play, especially into matchups like this. It is a good card. At the end of the day, I was like, I don't know if I do this or not. I don't know if I play this card. Yeah, we play it. We're going to let the Reiju die. So we're going to let Porsche die so that he maybe kills the Reiju, because he could go 7, 7, and then he could even 10 here just to bottom deck the Ichiji, just because we haven't found any other ones. Or he could go 5 to bottom deck it, and then 5 more for a Crocodile, because you can't do Crocodile though. And whoa buddy, I think we let that go because we can easily Sora to get the character back. So if you're gonna go something like that, I'm gonna let it go because I can get it back. They're gonna go 5 in a face. I think we will. Do we have a Reiju already in here? We do already have a Reiju, so we don't need to even set it up. I just don't want to take a 7 or a 9 into face. So I think they're trying to get me to force out counter, because they could go 9 into face, or they could go 9 into Reiju here, clearing up the board a little bit. I think we take. I don't know, because if they're dropping the new promo Buggy, it stops both of these from attacking in the first place. So he's just going to ignore them. I think we give him a 2k. I think we hold the Reijus just in case, but we can't always play the Judge out. So we could Judge on this next turn, get out the Reiju, get out, and it lowers our hand size. So yeah, that's what we'll do. It looks like it is going to be that promo Buggy here. So we will have to take this, and then we'll have to accept our doom. Instead, it's Gravity Blade. Wow, Gravity Blade being very good in that situation. So we know we have the small one, we have the big one here. So we need to find a Reiju off the top, which is our goal at the end of the day. We need to find a Reiju. We don't find one here. So we could double search. We could also Germa. We could Sanji search, which I don't think would be bad, just in case. And we don't find another one. Wow, that does kind of suck, because now the play with the Judge is not good because we don't get to draw 2. But we do have 6 instead, so we could go for another search here and really try to hone in on finding this piece, which we do finally find it. So now we can go 6 into face here, and then we can rush in for 7. I mean, heck, go 7 into face, completely ignore this, and feel kind of safe doing it, because we could go 7 into face, and then 8 into face, and then force out cards in hand, which I don't think is bad, but I also don't, it's obviously not guaranteed here. I think it's better to go 6 and then go for 7. So that is exactly what we will do here. We do at least find the Reiju, so we'll go 6 on -1, play out a Chiji. The Chiji will give -2 here. So now we need to decide if we're going for clearing board or if we're going for face. I think it's the same math either way. This at least puts him on a clock. If he splits with 10s, do we die? That's the question. 1, 2, 3, 4K counter. We're losing this and this to draw 2. So it does put us in a tough situation of do we die if he splits between all 3? I think we do, so I think it's safest to go 7 into the blocker. Go ahead and get rid of it if we can. If not, I mean, it's math, so we would counter out if at all possible. But it kind of shows some weakness by going into the body, I guess, which is not good for us, but we will go Dawn -1 more. Play out a Reiju from hand to draw 2. I'm glad we did that. We could have taken the gamble, but I'm glad we did that. We always have the Sora, so if he does go for clearing the Ichiji, we just let it go. We always have the Sora here. We also always have the Vinsmoke Judge, so we're in a very safe spot in my opinion. I don't think we're too stressed about the situation. It's just hard finding 3 Germa stages is crazy. But again, our opponent doesn't know we have 3 Germa stages, so it's not too stressful. They do just give up. I mean, at that point, if we hit them for 7, they didn't find this Buggy, which I don't think they play too many of. I only see the 1. Interesting. Yeah, they play a little more of that than the Mihawk, of course, but hey, we got him in the end. I'm happy about it. We definitely had the position there. I mean, if killed that, I think we just lose because we have, what's our life here? Reiju and Ichiji, that's 5K counter. You split 10 between 7, 7, 5. You know, that's 9. So we'd have to take the 9 right now. Then he hits us for 10. We have to take the 10 and then 10. Yep, we would have lost. So it's good that we cleared that Mihawk because if he went for game like he had to in that situation, we'd just lose. So now he split with Galdino, we're chilling. GG's. This is the matchup everyone wanted to see in the first place. So I think it would be almost greedy not to keep, but I don't think we keep that. I don't think we get anything out of it. It forces them to use their leader ability early. We find nothing, literally nothing to use for the whole game. This is not starting in a good position, guys. This is ranked. We're going against a good opponent here. I think we'll have to see. They get the Hachinosu off the start and the This Is My Age, and they drop a finger pistol. Kind of crazy, but it's what you have to do when you search with This Is My Age. They have a burger in the trash. They didn't get rid of our on plays at least, but they do have forced removal, so I don't know if it's good to even... It's not good to develop this and then just lose its full play later. I think we just play down Porsche. I don't even think we go Dawn -1. I think we just get a body on the board at that point. It sucks, but we just don't have the bigger body. I don't even think we use the card action again. I think we just say let it ride. It shows them how bricked we are because we do have 8K counter, 9 if you count the Ichiji, because I mean we the Ichiji, but in this situation I don't think it would be worth it to play out Ichiji, lose him, and then not have the ability to get him back off of our Sora ability when they do start leader abilitying us, probably on this turn I would assume. It puts us in a tough spot. They don't get punished for not leader abilitying us on 3 Dawn, which does suck because I'd love to be able to punish that and have a 5 and 7K swing already in at their face. But again, I just couldn't. We will be losing the on play of Rush from this character because it does have Rush on play, not Rush as a just Rush option. So Blackbeard will be shutting down all of our Rush, our draw, everything we have, everything we know. And now it's telling me my Porsche is at least safe. We are going to get rid of the feet. The feet are not going to be good for us to have to deal with. They grab a 5-cost Kuzan, one of the most oppressive cards in this deck. I think that card is just way too good, and they were like, hey, you're bricked up? Yeah, I'll let you do your thing. We're gonna go 5 here. They definitely have removal held in hand for this Ichiji. We're gonna go 5 again, and I'm trying to think if there's even a good way to do this because we don't have less Dawn at all, so that doesn't put us in a good spot. It's not worth playing down a Black Maria. It's like, what do we even do here? We don't have a character to play on the board. I don't want to lose my Ichiji. So what do we do? I think we played on Black Maria just for fear. The fear factor of, hey, oh, it's Black Maria. We're so scared. I think that might be the only one. It might even be even worth it to draw there. It's just to see. They do a 5 here. They could ditch 1. What did they ditch? Oh, for Hachinosu. Full of lead. They play out the Kuzan. Kind of interesting. We do finally get the piece that we need. They still haven't leader abilityed us. That's so weird. I don't know what this guy's doing. So we can go 5, 7, 8 here and then gain our Dawn back. Let's go 5, 7, 8. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a bunch. We will get to draw, and then if we go down too much, because we're not using Porsche in this situation, obviously. I don't know why he hasn't leader ability to us, just in case. I guess he's like, oh, he's bricked. We'll go 7 into face here, getting a card out. They're probably going to take both of these lives here, which they should. We'll go Dawn -1, play out a Chiji from hand, give -2 to this. Not that it does anything. We get to get a top 5 searcher, I guess. We're at 6, they're at 6, so there's no reason to Black Maria here. We don't get anything out of it, so we'll just go 8 in the face and call it a day. See how we can do. I mean, there's possibly just going 5, 5, 5, 7, really just getting cards out of hand, which may have actually been good in that situation, but this is an easy clear for them just off the swing. And then all they need for this is Lafitte, and this is my age, or I mean finger or anything at all. So that would kind of suck. In this situation, we are getting starved out like a mug. We're definitely gonna be countering aggressively here because I don't want them to use abilities to clear out our whole board. They get rid of this to play out Burgess, I'm assuming. Maybe Van Augur. Van Augur would be very good to give -3 here, and then Finger Pistol, and that's why this Kuzan is so daggum oppressive. Because now they can use any of their combination pieces to get rid of this, and that's not good for us. That is not good for us. It's kind of exactly odd. You know, it's one of those, you get a 5 cost from your trash. Sure, why not? You know, you're good about that, I'm sure. We at least have this Sanji. We can use the Sanji ability, but it's also just good to have a body on the board. They're gonna go 6 again. We're gonna counter aggressively. I think we're just gonna counter aggressively here to keep our bodies on the board. Feel pretty good about it too. And I think we're gonna kill the Van Augur. I think we are. I think in this situation, they're going to 9 Dawn. They're gonna give something -2, probably on the Porsche, and then play Dot Q. It's gonna be good for them right there. That's gonna be really good for them. They trash a Dot Q from hand. They give this -2, they Dot Q. Man, that's tough. That's tough, boys. Not gonna lie to you, that's tough. And they ditch a card for Hachinosu, and then grab a Vasco shot blocker, and they should leave their biddy here. I mean, you cards in hand, there's no reason not to stop the rush options in case we do get it. And of course we don't. So what's our split? What's our split here? We go 7-7. We could also, I mean, obviously draw a card because we have equal Dawn, but I don't even think that's worth it at this point. I don't think it's worth setting up our draws either. I mean, these activate mains at least, but we could play this, set up our draws. I don't even know, honestly. Let's go 7 at face, see what he does. If he takes, we're gonna go 8. Simply, we're just gonna go 8. I think we put him on a clock at that point of, hey, I guess this is all I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just have bricked up. Like, there's nothing you can do in these situations. It's just 2 2Ks out of hand. That's super simple and easy for them. Like, there's no not to. It was a 2-1-1, which is good at least. I mean, they probably have a teach in hand. We haven't really been paying attention to what they grab. Honestly, I should probably be looking at it. We did know the Vasco shot. They finger pistol down. No, they discard it with Hachinosu. Grabbing a Shiryu. They do have a 2K counter, and they should be leading us from here on out. No doubt about it. They should go 5 in a face here. They can kill this for free. You could also go 5 here and then swing 6 in a face, I guess, which is pretty free as well. Either way, you're clearing out my Black Maria. There's no doubt about it. And there's no reason to even 10 teach, in my opinion. Like, I mean, it's such a great card, and it saves you from dying. But I just don't feel like there's not like, oh, I need to do this. It's like this, you know what I mean? We haven't even found this other piece. Wow. Wow. If we go 10 into face here, they could block and counter, or they could just take freely and feel pretty safe because we didn't develop any bodies. So it's like, what you do here? We could go 7 into face, just develop the Sanji, but if they have another teach, we get punished for just blocking 1K and then teach on the next turn, stopping the Sanji, putting them in the same position, and they get to swing the 12 and have the 12K blocker. We're in a tough spot. We are getting so bricked, and that's not in the good way, brother. That's not in the good way. We could even split with the little bodies, but at the end of the day, I mean, that'd be the move. 3, 1, 2, that's gonna be 6, 7, 8, but then they still have the Dot Q to get rid of the 1, so let's play this. Let's trash it to draw 1. Oh, it's only if we have less Dawn. Okay, that makes 5 at your face. Block. I thought this was less or equal to, so I kind of got cooked on that one. Not gonna lie. We're gonna develop this, and this, and this, and pass. You got it or you don't. I'm like, please game here. Please go for game. I think that's the only situation, like only thing you can do. You can go 15, but then they just take freely and feel safe about it. They go -3 here, -3 here, kill it with Dot Q. Now they just 10 cost to get rid of this. We have to be able to split between these two bodies. So they know all they need is counter, or they just leave these two active. They swing 5 at face. They're still really safe here. I mean, like we even do in this situation, we finally get into Chiji, which is going to be good, but it's not going to do much for us here. They know, hey, I don't lose to a split, it looks like. They get to draw a Stronger, which is a 2K counter, so they know they don't lose to the split, which is really good for them, and it just puts us in an awkward position. That was so bad for us. So all they need is 2 and a 1, right? So, no, not even. We don't even win if we do actually take care of things on the board. I think we could I don't even think it's worth getting rid of cards in hand. But we are black hold. We at least get a blocker on the board. Let's go 5 at face. They should just block. Nope, counter. Okay. So now we know not to swing. We're going to play out a blocker. We're going to play out a Chiji. We're going to go Don -1 to get this and draw a card. We'll get another blocker on the board. And then at the end of the day, we still have a 2K counter. So it's like, you win this turn or I win this turn. We'll swing into this for 2. They'll get to draw a card. They should just block. Yeah, they should block. I was like, maybe. But no, I think that was the best play. They have a 12-12. They could easily probably get rid of these because Van Augur, Doc Q, right? Whoa, Doc Q resting, kill this is weird. Yeah, I literally like, no, that's wrong. You have to Van Augur first, -2, and then kill it. So we should actually have game here. Well, I mean, technically, they have double blockers. I would hold my blockers at this point, putting us in the position to take. If they have any removal, though, we're just good. Let's take. Oh my gosh, this is damn Germa stage, dude. I get 10 of them out of the game. Because the issue is if he has any removal here. So we had to be able to counter out of that. So we block, and then he just goes 17. I mean, it's guaranteed. So yeah. GG's, that was just unlucky. Honestly, I don't think we have a bad matchup, as bad as what I was thinking. I think we were just unlucky at the end of the day. I really think, I mean, when you're with a hand like that, you find 0 stages, 0 bodies, 0 forecast. There was 0 forecast. We found 8 2K counters in that game out of 12 or 14. 8 2K counters. That's wild. So we're going to end the day off that one, but that one was a fun one. At the end of the day, we were still so close for what we were trying to do, but we just couldn't get it at the end of it. I mean, I'm a little tilted. We didn't find the German stage until that very last life, and then putting us on a clock like that of just not having anything. Let's finish off with the deck profile, finish off with a talk about that, and then end the day. Let's end it quick. That was horrible at the end. And there's our Reiju deck list. I think we saw a lot of cards that really implement into the strategy, with the Black Bug being very good in that Foxy matchup. I also think it did good into, I think we used it for Luffy. I don't remember for sure, but I think it did good at the end of the day. Maybe has a 2 of, possibly 3, but then again, if you have a 2 of it, do you find it in that matchup that we had it, especially in a deck that relies on finding this? I don't think it'd be horrible to go up one of these and up a Germa 66. I like having the Sanji just as an option for a blocker when you need it. You didn't see it in any of those. We used it more as a 2K counter, but I think the consistency of having the Germa stage would be very, very good. Having the Sanji, it's all right. I mean, for me, I just don't know if I'd rather have the Sanji at the end of the day, because I mean, but I guess that makes it better for when you have a double engine like this, where you're running the Porsche Chopper Foxy engine, but you usually never whiff on anything other than Germa 66 sometimes, or Germa Kingdom. So I think all in all, the deck, as you can see, was not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not the high skill player of like the best who's gonna win Nats right now, not yet, but give me time while I cook. Anyways, I do think there is a high skill ceiling here, and playing at the best positions, you know, you think about a lot of what your opponent has, your Dawn count, keep like always thinking turns ahead, I feel like, with this deck list, and kind of take account, as you could see in some of those games. So as always, all I ask is for you to like and subscribe, join the Discord down below, come hang out with the One Piece family. I love you and your mama, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.